recording and learning environment for everybody. We're not distracted by anything. But if you'll let me know in the chat box that you can see everything okay. I'm going to put the slides up here just to see if you could see that clearly. Let me know. Again, in the chat box, let me know that and we can move forward. Perfect. Nice and clear. All right, everybody. How many were in the last session? Because in the last session, there was a lot of wonkiness happening with the focus and everything. So that's what took me just a moment. I had to double check with the camera that everything was working. It was working about an hour ago, but that's what happened last time. So everybody, thank you so much for finding that chat box and doing that. That's the best place that I can hear you, and I customize every session for the people in the room. So understand that's what I do, and I want to make sure that you can find that chat box and you're seeing everything. All right. Yeah, video will be a little bit delayed sometimes, and that is unfortunately internet because of, well, some of the audio switches that I had to do, everybody. Is it painful at this point, though? Let me know. If it's painful at this point, I'll need to know that, okay? Right now, though, we're getting a nice, clear recording. Everything's coming across clear, so I really don't want to change anything and then get blurry, right? Right, exactly, exactly. You see that behind me. All right, it's clear enough. You can see behind me. We're going to go ahead and run with it. Thank you for your feedback, everybody. And Ivan, I do appreciate your patience with us if it's a little bit delayed there. I hope it's not painful for you, okay? If you want a copy of today's slides that I'm covering during the session, this is available to you by using this QR code, or you can go to the link that I'm dropping right now in the chat box. You can utilize that to click on there. You will get the access to the handout and the slides that I'm using right now. You do need to download those. At the top of the hour, that will no longer be available. So you need to download that while I'm in session. Now, if for any reason you miss out on that, you get all involved and you don't download it, or you thought you did and you didn't, not to worry, it will be emailed to you with the recording, which will probably come tomorrow, just so you know, to give you kind of a time frame that we didn't forget you this afternoon, okay? So you can get a copy of that. Again, I dropped that in the chat box, and there are a few people who came in since then, so let me drop it one last time just in case it wasn't there when you first got there. And you can also utilize that QR code. Perfect, Ivan, thank you. I'm glad it's at least workable. We can at least work with this, right? I just don't want to change anything to make what happened last week happen, where we just couldn't get it to focus on any slides. So it was an adventure for all of us. All right, I do want to say this is who I am, and you see me right here, just like Bill was actually introducing me. My name's Maria Elena Duron. I'm one of the Grow with Google trainers. I've been with the Google team for about 7 years, but I'm also an owner of a small business. And the reason I say that to you is because everything that I'm going to teach you today, and everything that I teach any session that I do, is practical, because I understand what it's like to be butcher, baker, candlestick maker in your business. And now you have to figure out YouTube, AI, artificial intelligence, trying to figure out data and analytics, and still have to take care of customers and take out the trash. I understand those many roles. So I'm not doing this in a cubicle. I'm actually doing this practically, and I'll show you what that looks like with some actual live demo. So that's what I do like to do in the session. If the internet and Zoom will play friendly with us, I do like to go to a live demo, just because I think it's even more impactful and it gives you more insight into what you're going to find when you're in there, as opposed to some of the slides. But the slides are good for you to be able to use as an outline, especially when you get a copy of the recording sometime tomorrow, and you can utilize those slides. Or right now, if you're on a mobile device, it might be easier for you to see that slide. So again, utilize that link that I just dropped in the chat box one last time. Okay, perfect. Yes, Natasha remembers the pain from last week. We don't want to do any of that again. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can use YouTube to grow your business. You'll see the blue link right underneath that header. You'll see is where you can find all things small business on Google. This is who I am, Maria Elena Duron. And you can find me on X at that first handle, or Twitter, which is Maria Duron, or at Marketing Coach Maria on Instagram. The reason I have my socials there is because I love to hear when you've actually applied what you've learned, because knowledge is not powerful until it's applied. So when you actually apply it, I love to give you some visibility, or even if you're taking a snapshot of the screen right now and you're sharing that out, I like to make sure to push you out in my retweets, reposts, in my stories, just to be able to get some visibility, because you never know who somebody is, who they're connected to, who they'll become, or who they influence, right? So I love to do that for you. If you want to tag me, I'd appreciate that, and I will definitely make sure you get some visibility out of that. But today we're going to be talking about YouTube, right? So we are talking about visibility. So the latest numbers is 2.6 billion monthly users watch every day on YouTube. Let's soak that in for a minute. How many of you have a YouTube channel? If you have a YouTube channel, I would love for you to drop the link in the chat, because remember, there's a group of people here, about 92 people. You never know who somebody is, who they'll become, or who they influence. So always good to drop your channel link whenever you can there. Feel free to do that. How many of you who have a channel know how to find the QR code of your channel to share it by QR code? All right. Yes, if you haven't posted anything, no worries. We're going to make sure as we go through some of the basic setup, the big thing, even for those who do have a YouTube channel, is to double check that there has been no misstep or something you've overlooked that is preventing you from being visible. So this is your chance to do that. And also for everybody new, now you don't have to worry about any bad habits that you get into, right? Plus you get the latest, because we're going to be talking about the latest that's happening actually on YouTube. Perfect. See, I love Robin's already using her YouTube handle, her YouTube name. So perfect. Then we've got links in there. So everybody, that's great. That's what I love to see, is when you're out there making sure that people see and give them the opportunity for them to take a peek and look and see if you've got a product, service, or solution for them. So we also know that's 1 billion video hours, and people go to YouTube when they want to discover information. In fact, how many people know TikTok? Right? I don't think there's anybody on the planet anymore that doesn't know what TikTok is. And yet TikTok gets 1 billion views a day on and they have short form video, right? I mean, they've got different sizes now, a little bit longer, but when you look at that, TikTok is where a lot of people think that Gen Z and even Gen Alpha, that's younger than 13, where they go to discover products, services, or solutions. And they may see it there for the first time. But when people are ready to do some research, 94% still go to YouTube. Go to Google. Number 2 is YouTube. So Google's the number 1 search engine in the world. YouTube is number 2. It's the number 2 search engine in the world. And it's a search engine and a social network. It's number 2 in social networks. It's also number 2 in actual search. But here's the thing for you to know between TikTok and YouTube. TikTok gets 1 billion views a day, right? 1 billion views a day. So that's what it gets. But YouTube Shorts get 50 billion views. So are you missing some people that could see your content if you're only looking or only putting content on TikTok? Absolutely. In fact, I'll show you an account of a company that I'm actually building their YouTube channel for, and they are putting everything on YouTube, like many of the businesses right now. They're putting everything actually on YouTube after they put it on, or they put it on YouTube, and then they'll put it and repurpose it on TikTok. So it used to be people would put things on TikTok and then put it into YouTube Shorts, but it's the other way around now, because they realize just the reach and the volume of people that actually go to YouTube. So it's also where people go to engage. There's shoppable video now in YouTube when you're doing YouTube Live. You actually have communities where you can have conversation. You can even monetize your channel and have super chats and get paid to read out people's comments. So there's lots of action like that happening. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can create your YouTube channel. Remember, if you have a channel, use this as a moment to review and be sure that there is nothing that you are doing that you just even forgot about doing, or that you did just because of habit or somebody taught you, that may no longer be good practices anymore, especially when we know artificial intelligence, AI, is behind every search engine, not just Google, not just YouTube, but all the search engines. We'll talk about how you can create and add videos to your channel, YouTube Shorts. We definitely need to talk about that, because that's in and of itself almost its own entity compared to YouTube long form, which is where a lot of us go when we want to figure out the warranty of something, or how do we put together that GoPro that we just got, because there's no instructions, no manuals in the latest GoPro, right? You've got to go and look and search in YouTube. And then at the very end, very, very small, Remember, very, very small, because I don't like to focus on paid anything until you totally max out what is 100% free. So at the very end, we'll talk about ads, but just a smidgen of it, really just so you have a good idea of what is the best ads and the most profitable ad form to work with in YouTube. But we won't spend a lot of time there, because unless you've actually optimized and calibrated your YouTube channel, then you could just be out promoting chaos. And that's all ads do, is promote what actually exists. So let's talk about creating that YouTube channel, everybody. All right, when you sign into YouTube, you'll see you click on that right-hand corner there when you go to youtube.com. When you're there, you get two opportunities, especially for the first time. It'll give you the opportunity, your icon at the very top right-hand corner. You can either click on that and the drop-down menu appears where it says create channel. So that's the first bubble there to the right. Or it will also pop up at the very beginning there, the opportunity that you can create a channel. So just like every YouTube tool, or actually every Google tool, it gives you a couple of places where you can access being able to do different actions. Now, customizing your channel. That is what you can do first, is you customize or you can upload the video. So you see those two buttons active there. And I want to talk first about customizing your channel, because this is the first place where people really overlook YouTube SEO, search engine optimization. So how do you get here? When you go to that drop-down menu, and let me go back to that. So you see that drop-down menu, create a channel. Once you've created a channel and customized a channel, then if you go back to that icon, so in this example, it is the very orange G at the very top right-hand corner above where you see that bubble that says customize channel, you can click on YouTube Studio, and it gives you the opportunity to have all the access to actually manage your YouTube channel. Now, when you're in your channel, when you're in the YouTube Studio, you have the opportunity here to actually work on your channel. So some of the call outs that you see here first, if you look at the left, after you go past the header and the paragraph, you'll see video spotlight. This is a chance for you to spotlight some video, and this is the first place people actually overlook being able to use SEO. What this means is they overlook the ability to use a trailer, and it's just like it sounds, just like any movie trailer is. This is a trailer that you can put out there, letting people know as they're scrolling and they're browsing that this is something that has information for them someplace, and what you have, exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to make it available. This is your chance to entice them, just like a movie trailer does. So that is what you have right there at the very top, is if they have not subscribed to your channel, now you're going to go ahead and want to bring them in by having a trailer. Once they subscribe, you can then have a featured video. So you'll see the first thing is channel trailer, and the second is featured video. There's some sites that you recommend to edit a video. Oh my gosh, there are so many sites, Eric, to edit a video. We'll cover that in just a little bit, but I actually encourage you to reach out to your to the Google partner that invited you, because I'm thinking to edit a video, gosh, I mean, I love Munch, I like Opus. Opus Clips, I love utilizing that I mean, Canva is so easy to edit a video, and so many people have Canva now. So that's something as well. If you're not wanting to go in deep to understand and work Adobe Premiere, if you're not just on your phone doing everything in CapCut, so you're doing it just really formatted for Instagram and TikTok, then you might want to use some of those other tools, especially if you feel more comfortable doing that desktop. So there's so many tools, and it really has a lot to do with what is your comfort level, because you can have the best tool, but then if you never use it, what does that mean, right? So you could see here that you could have a featured video to draw them in. This is where you really talk about what are the benefits and why should they subscribe to you. And then once they subscribe to you, the featured video, so you've got a channel trailer, that's that trailer that does that, entices them. Then the featured video is actually letting them know, thank you for subscribing, and then what they can plan to get. Now, some people will feature video of their latest video that they just premiered. That's fine to do too, but understand that until somebody subscribes, they're just seeing the channel trailer. So it's good to be able to thank them and bring them in. It does actually, it's a sign that you are listening and paying attention to what people are commenting here. You're not just dumping all of your extra video from TikTok and Instagram Reels and Stories here to be able to get some visibility. There's actually some interaction. Now, you actually also have featured sections. So a lot of people will put their YouTube channel to what's default, which is usually you'll see The shorts are at the very top, right? So you'll see that it'll say new to you. No one else can see that. Then the shorts are at the very top, and then the videos that you just uploaded. And people will leave it at that. And that is not good YouTube SEO at all. What you need to do is to be able to organize it and put it in a format or in an order that will help people who are looking for your information. So your most likely person who is interested in that content that you're putting out, can you make it easier for them to find you? Well, one of the ways in your featured sections is to think of those as like bookshelves underneath all of your video and organizing those by topic. So those are playlists. So as you name your playlist, you have lots of opportunity when you name playlists to be able to put information, especially words that can match what people are searching for when they say, hey, Google, hey, Alexa, hey, ChatGPT, hey, Perplexity. All right. So first and foremost, let's start with branding and then we'll go through those sections. When we look at branding, we are going to get tired of our brand before anybody sees it. Just letting you know, business owners, entrepreneurs, and freelancers, that you get bored with your brand before anybody knows that you exist. So the importance here is for you to go with a brand that you are going to stay with, a brand, a visual brand that people can see and it's consistent across everywhere. There is a reason when we're going down the highway and we see the yellow arches, we know exactly what that means. Okay. It's that consistency, that brand consistency. When you look the same on your LinkedIn profile, company profile, on your TikTok profile, on Instagram, on Meta, and then now all of a sudden they go to YouTube, now they know they found the right place. So that banner image is something that you can customize. And what's cool about that, it is mobile responsive. So it adjusts to any device, whether you have a Samsung, which is an Android, whether you have an iOS, whether you're on your laptop, a tablet, whether you're on your smart TV, it adjusts, okay? So let's look at this now. Your channel name, you want to think about branding. How are people finding you? Are you consistent? I see a lot of people who are all over the place. You know, they could be Nico Stone's Jewelry on Instagram, then they're Nico Stone Gems on TikTok, and now they're Nico Stones, just Nico Stones alone on YouTube. And that's a lot of inconsistent branding. Do you understand? Brand trust is built by consistency. When we start seeing the same things over and over, and the big thing is when the search engine starts seeing things over and over, it has confidence now that your information is correct. You're not just some fly by night or somebody who is on a hobby right now who will disappear in the next month or two, that you're an actual business and you've got that consistency of brand. Then you can also put your channel URL links and your contact information there as well, right? So you can customize those. So let's talk about the low hanging fruit there. And I'm actually going to bring up front and center, and you're going to need to give me just a moment because I am doing a live demo here, which is my favorite part because now you can actually see what things look like, but I've got to switch screens. All right, let's go here. All right, so this is a channel that I'm actually working on. We just launched in October. When you look at this channel, you'll see that there is a featured video right here, okay? So you can also see there are 4 more links here too. So that's what we look for with customized links. First, you see all these links are here. Now, by default, the first link is your website address. And some people just leave it like that and then they put the name of their address. But you can change the text. That is low-hanging SEO for YouTube. So you can change that text. And in their instance, we changed it to get your sports gear, right? We didn't need it just to say website. Why? We know something.com, .net, .org, that's a website. We're smart enough now to know that. So, and experienced enough with online URLs and website addresses. So now we're going to use this to be able to direct them. And this SEO actually is picked up by YouTube search. So not just YouTube, Google search too. So when you look at this now, you can put all your socials in there, connecting with people wherever they feel comfortable. Again, I like to meet people where they are instead of trying to get them and convince them to go to a social someplace that they've never been before. That takes a tremendous amount of time, energy, and money. Then you can see exactly what's been going on here. So it started August 1st, but they actually started putting content there. We did that October 1st. So this is what you can see here. Now, look at the playlist underneath. See how everything's organized in a playlist? So it's not just the shorts and then by default videos uploaded. This is the fan zone, real fans, real stories, okay? Now, when you click here, what you're also going to see is the ability to be able to add even more content here in the description. Okay, so you can add content there. And if you match what people are actually searching for, think about the way Google search works. If you've ever wanted to know the secret sauce of Google's algorithm, it's the fact that Google utilizes three pillars and each with 1,000 different pieces. But the big pillar is relevance. How well do you match what people are typing? So what they're actually typing or saying when they are searching. So this text area gives you a great opportunity to use that. And we haven't even optimized this yet. So that gives you an idea of what you can see here. And I'm going to go back here and I'm going to have to stop the video because that'll come on. There we go. Now you can see another playlist, athlete interviews, coaching corner series. So these are interviews with actual coaches, performance power clips. So these are snippets. So again, you see how those are actually brought out. And then there are spotlights. And then comes the default videos. Okay, so they're actually utilizing their channel and optimizing this to make it easy to be found. And that's what you want to do when you're easy to be found, when the search engine actually trusts you. Oh, somebody's got a mic on. If you could make sure your mic is off, everybody, so we're getting a good, clean recording for everybody, I'd appreciate it. Double check your mic. All right, so what we want to do here is to be able to provide that and make it easy for people to find us, no matter how they search and what words. It's on us to be experts on our customers and really to understand that. So when we look at the back end of this, and let me go here to YouTube Studio. So now you can go in YouTube Studio and you have all these data and analytics, and that's very important because that data and analytics, I've got to expand this out. Sorry, everybody. It's right. My camera is blocking right where I can look. Okay. So you can see you could expand this out. You can look at the analytics. You can then actually look at your content. So we'll talk about that more in just a second. Okay. So we want to make sure that we don't want to have any copyright restrictions like they did in this moment here. And that's why you want to utilize either the royalty free audio that you have or YouTube's free library of audio. So they have a whole free library of audio that can match, as well as Canva has a great audio list as well. That's a bunch of free audio. Okay. We'll come back to them in a moment as we go in a little bit deeper, but I wanted to give you a practical view of what that looks like when you start putting customized URL links. You name those instead of going by the default, and when you set up your channel with playlists. So you saw in their instance as well, you saw that banner image, the profile picture, and then just like what I was talking about, that video spotlight. So the two on the top there, the banner image and the profile pic, actually give you a chance to see their brand across other brand or other platforms. And this gives you the opportunity to get and feel that you're at the right place. Now you have a video spotlight as well. Remember, trailer first and then video spotlight, letting them know what to expect. Are you posting every Thursday? And see, in this instance, also on the slides, you can see how the videos are grouping. All right, I see some questions here, so stop. Let me stop for a moment. The presentation, you'll get a copy of the recording probably tomorrow, but you can get the slides in the handout right now. I'm dropping that link to get it right now. You do need to click on it and download that. Don't just click on it and then expect to see it after the top of the hour, because if you haven't downloaded it, it won't be there anymore and you won't be able to download it. Okay. Yep, it will be from the beginning. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Bill. All right. When you say click here, can you move your mouse around so I can see where we're clicking, please? Not sure where you're talking, which exactly page where you're talking about click here, because I just shared a lot of information. So I'm not sure when your comment actually came in. I got here 10 minutes ago, so I can still get the recording. Yep, everybody good. Good. Paige, if you'll respond there in the chat box, then I'll know exactly what your question is. Okay. All right, so as we see the videos are grouped into sections, you can go ahead and group those and make that SEO friendly and making that search engine friendly, but also people when they're searching. Think of the words that they use. You guys who were here last week may remember that I talked about the fact that if you have an overhead door company and somebody's looking to fix their garage, are you relevant? Do you match? Overhead door company, fix my garage. Does it match? Will Google show you up high in search? Are you using those words? So it's important for you to be able to not just be an expert in industry speak, but be an expert in your customer and know exactly what words and what they're searching for when they're ready to know, go, do, or buy. but going forward, it would help me follow along. Absolutely. I've actually been clicking, but you may not see it because it doesn't highlight my mouse really well. So that's the thing where when you go back to the recording page, you can slow that down. I can't emphasize it anymore, but in the recording, you'll be able to see that. So does the SEO apply to YouTube or Google in general? To both. Remember, YouTube is owned by Google, and both the results show up in Google search. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world, Google the #1. So the practices are the same. When you can understand how search works in YouTube and Google, you've got the lion's share of visibility because now you know how to build trust with a search engine. So it will show you high in search because if it doesn't trust you, it's not showing you high in search, right? So let's talk about how you can create and add videos. Video tech, I mean, come on. We've got phones now, right? That we can use. And we have a wonderful professional studio there. So you really need to think about what is it that your channel is going to do. Is it going to be something where you want a very professional, almost academic, very pure? So you want a very pristine video showing a lot of people who are building their employer brand, meaning that they're bringing in team members and they really want to showcase their professionalism, will do more of a professional video. Those who want to be seen as an authority in their field also will do more of the professional video. But if you want something instant, authentic, and right away, so you don't have to wait for production and 3 weeks later for us to get something, you can utilize your phone. So for you, that's the decision first. Is it necessary to place an actual self photo in the profile? No, it's not. It's not required, but whatever you use the same across all of your platforms so that there's consistency and people know that that's you. There have been too many times I've seen people pay money for ads, and I've seen the reaction because I watch and actually watch what people are going through somebody's YouTube site or somebody's website as they're consuming information. So there's lots of different programs, not just heat maps, but actually flow programs, which will watch their behavior. And they often get confused if the profile picture is different. So that profile picture again could be a logo, but if it's different, now they go back and forth trying to figure it out. Too much time and effort. They just leave it then and go find something else. There's no reason that they have to work so hard to find information, right? So again, our job is to know how they search and to make it easy as can be to be able to do and find information and to be able to connect the dots. Okay. So as you're looking at video for your channel, what do you want that to do? What do you want to, what's the story about? Is the story about your team? Is the story about your brand? Is the story about the product? Is the story about you and how you created the product? Or is the story about the customer and the struggles and the challenges that they had before they get your product, service, or solution? So what's the purpose of that video? That is key because a lot of people just point and shoot with no strategy. And you guys have heard me say that before, that you can hope to capture something great, but while hope is wonderful to have, it is such a poor strategy. So what's the purpose and who's the star? Is it you? Is it the company? Is it the team? Or is it the inventors? Is it the product? Is it an ingredient in the product? Is it the customer? Who's the star of the video? You need to really decide that before you spend any time, effort, and money trying to record anything so that you're going there with purpose and you're working smarter, not harder. So a lot of times you can start with this, the business story, the who, what, why, right, of your business story. But I actually prefer the hero story. And that's the story that I lead with, or I actually coach and work with businesses and teams on how to put together an excellent YouTube channel. And that is starting with the hero story. So what is the hero story? Once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after. You see, I could get on YouTube right now, any of the channels with video and say, hey, my name's Maria Elena Duron. I'm a property and casualty insurance agent. I can help you in insuring all your toys from your RVs to your vacation home, to your boat, to your actual home. So your domicile, your actual transportation, I can help you from all of that and be sure that you are safe from any harm, be it fire, danger, theft, whatever it is, or those acts of nature. I can help you and be right there for you. I'm just a phone call away. Maria Duron, 555-1212. All right. I can do that where I see a lot of videos. The majority of videos are just that, spitting information out to people. But let me change that a little bit and really pull on human nature. And so I'm going to change that now and use the hero storyline. My name's Maria Elena Duron. When I was 8 years old, there was a knock on the door, and it was a family that just had a terrible fire. Their whole house burned down, and they came over to thank my father because he took so much time to be meticulous in making sure all of their property, everything was accounted for, that they never had to worry about that. They felt so taken care of, and they came to say thank you for that. It was at that moment that I knew that I wanted to make a difference in people's lives and be there for them when they are dealing with the worst things in their life. My name is Maria Elena Duron, and I can help you during those times. Now remember, here's what that is. Once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after. I'm using the 5-year-old hero storyline without saying it out loud, but those are my hitching posts in my mind as I go through the story. Once upon a time, I was 8 years old. There was a knock on the door. Suddenly, these people showed up. Their house had burned down. Luckily, my father had taken care of them. Happily ever after, I decided that was at that moment my mission too. Once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after. That's the storyline. And if you can remember that, that will help you tell your business story because nobody wants to hear, okay, let me tell you about my business. That's like somebody back in the day bringing out their vacation photos and slides saying, I'm going to show you my slides. We all, our eyes roll back and we think we're about to lose a portion of our life as time is sucked away there. As adults, we want to be dropped right into the action, which is what a lot of the movies do. I didn't tell you any background other than I was 8 years old and there was a knock on the door. I dropped you right in the action. That is adult story time. But we do know that stories sell, facts may tell. And that's the biggest thing when you can get a good storyline and you can tell that story well that is meaningful to people who are looking for your product, service, or solution. All right, you can also see there's a product or service story. Explain the benefits of your product here, exactly what is it that they're going to get and go into detail about that. Or you can do a promotional story, which is an announcement of new products or services or actual deals. So any of those stories are what you can work with, but I always like to start with the hero story first. You just need to know who is the hero, your product, you, your team, your business, your customer. Okay, an ingredient in your product. You need to know which one it is. The big thing is to be clear and concise. You have less than 5 to 15 seconds. I do know, in working with TikTok very closely, that within the first zero point 0.6 seconds, if you don't hook them, you are going to lose them in TikTok. So you need to think in that format. People are used to fast. That attention span, you've got to capture it because they're inundated with 12,400 messages on any given day, and they are going to go to the next message if yours is too slow to figure out or too slow to get to the point. So you want to also at the end deliver a compelling call to action. I see too many people who at the end just end it and they're like, okay, thank you, but they don't tell them what to do next. Understand, we are so distracted. So they could very well know, okay, I really want to get this product or I really want to work with this person. Now the bell rings, something drops, somebody knocks on their door, somebody texts them that they need something. All of a sudden they're distracted and they come back to it and they think, what was I going to do? So give them a great call to action. What does success look like, sound like, and feel like with your videos if they're performing the way you want them to do and what you want them to actually bring to your business? Of course, this is a great slide here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in it just because it's just showing you a lot of the different ways. But if you're not sure which is which, selfie, most people know, backdrop, having a green screen, voiceover is when you don't have any audio, but then you speak it over as you're putting it there. Top down is where a lot of people will ask me, you know, Maria, it's top down. So I'm looking down at my keyboard and my table here. If I was doing a top down, that's what it's looking like from the top down. Point and shoot in action, told with text. 67% of us have audio off when we're looking through things because we don't want to out ourselves. We could be in a meeting, we could be somewhere supposed to be paying attention to something, but we're scrolling, right? So we don't have the audio on. So if we don't have captions underneath or subtitles that are actually showing what somebody's saying, we don't know if it matters to us, and it's important. And I see a lot of people that I follow, even a lot of content creators that I'm a big fan of. Once they just start talking and I can't see any text, and you know it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm watching it on my phone at night and I don't want to wake up my husband, I'm not going to watch what they do. I'm not going to save it either because there's no text to actually bring me back to it. I just figure I'm going to catch them next time. You'll see the link at the very bottom left hand will give you a lot of good video creation tips there too. The thing to remember, everybody, Now, since 2020, we've seen way too many oops, people coming out of the bathroom, unmade beds, cats, kiddos, spouses, everybody in the background. So look at the background because the camera is taking all of that in. Keep that in mind because that's your visual brand. And once it's on YouTube, it's evergreen, it's forever. Understand too, look at the lighting. Right now, I have two lume cubes right here at the very corner, two lume cubes. So I happen, natural lighting is the best, but I happen to be in the corner of the office where natural lighting is way over there, way, way over there. I will never get it, even if I pull all the shades back. It'll never be enough to get me here. The light from the top is never going to be enough either. So that's important. That's why I have two lume cubes here. I tried the ring light. It made me look like I had evil eyes. I didn't like the ring light. So the lume cube was perfect for me. You need to test and see your video also, what it looks like when people are actually watching your videos. Sound though, listen to the space and listen to your mic. You know, I live in a very dry and dusty place and it gets very windy. So I have to watch it in the summer times as the volume and the boom of the air conditioning comes on, as well as the turning of fans. A lot of people have that and they don't realize that. I've heard way too many puppy dogs yawn in the background because people don't take into account all of the sound. Now, understand, we can be forgiving about space. Okay, so you have a messy bed. We can be understanding about lighting. You look like you're in the dark over there, or it's the Blair Witch Project. I can barely see your face, that light just shining from the bottom. But we will never, ever be forgiving of sound. Okay, we are never, ever forgiving of sound. So if people can't hear, if it's crunchy, it hurts their ears, if they're really trying real hard to figure something out, they will just go. When I go to Comic-Con, so 100,000 people descend upon San Diego Comic-Con, and I stand a solid 5 foot, and most people are about 5'7", 5'8", and they've got these plastic big bags that they get from all of the different entertainment venues that are there. Now they have all these crinkly plastic bags, and if I'm trying to talk on my phone or talk and do a video recording, so I'm doing a YouTube live while I'm on the Comic-Con floor, you can forget it if I didn't have a mic on, okay? Because I need to be able to pick that up and not pick up all the crinkly stuff and the shuffling of people, right? Lume Cube, yes, exactly, Stephen. That's what I like to use is Lume Cube. And you can actually go to Amazon. I have a list of all my equipment that I use there, and I share that on socials as well. Now, you saw the audio library, where you can find that. That's in your YouTube studio. When you're in the YouTube studio, go to the left-hand side, click on audio library, and you get the free use of all of that audio right there. Is there right for you. You don't have to pay for it at all. And this is with your free personal Google account, which you get with YouTube. Okay, so as you add videos, you're going to click create and you get the opportunity to go live or upload those videos. Now, if you upload your video, you have a chance to put the title there. So you can title it. Remember to think and use the words that people are searching. Remember my example about overhead door company and garage. Let us not get too involved and forget that we are more experienced with our product or service or solution than anybody else. So what is it that they're actually searching for? Then we could put that in the description. If you don't know what people are searching for, read your reviews, because in their own words, they tell you what matters most to them in their own words. And if you don't have reviews, then check competitors' reviews. It's always good to do competitive analysis, and you can see there what words matter. All right. And then the thumbnail. You need to be able to capture them, but not be too wordy, because remember how small that thumbnail is. It needs to be bright enough and stand out enough that it stands out in a sea of things that they're scrolling past. All right, I see. What is the amount of success with faceless videos? A lot if you're giving good value. There's a lot of that that's giving good value. Remember, you have to think of what the purpose is and why you're doing that. So a lot of people will do faceless videos because people are trying to focus in on what they're doing, either to see something, to get all the details, or to really, really see the steps that they're doing. And it's hard to see the steps when it's a person's face is what the camera's actually focusing on, and you're just seeing in the background what's happening. So a lot of faceless videos do really well. You just have to think of the purpose of the video. What is it that you want people to know, and what do you want them to do afterwards? So you can add subtitles. That's already built in for free within YouTube.
I
There's no,
am. I was trying to.
okay, somebody
You
has
don't
their
have
mic
any?
on again.
Oh,
Somebody has their
sorry.
mic. All right. Thank you so much for turning off your mic. I appreciate it. All right. So the end screen, what that is it's an end screen that can take them to something next. So let's say, for example, you have a series of things, because we know ever since 2020 with Netflix, people don't want long video. They don't want a 40-minute video on how to. They would much rather see a playlist, which is these are the steps how to. And it could be 10 4-minute videos or even 20 2-minute videos. They want short, and they want to be able to go to exactly what they're looking for. So people now think episodically as opposed to looking at the entire long form. In fact, it's very rare when you'll see them watch something all the way through, especially if it's long, unless they're so hyper driven to be able to do that. They like getting it in sound bites, and it makes it easier for them to share. It's just like if we were watching Game of Thrones and you said, okay, I loved episode 2 in season 2, and you have to tell somebody, you have to watch all of episode 2 to be able to get it. Well, when we want to go and do something, when we're learning how to do something, when we're looking at unboxings so we can make good decisions on our purchases, we want to be able to see in sound bites and bits and pieces. We do think episodically. So an end screen can take them to what the next video is in that series, or what the next video is that you actually recommend. Cards are just like they sound. They're cards that pop up. So if you mention something and then you've got a URL or something to it, that card pops up at that time. It depends, again, how you want to use that, but that gives another visible instead of just you or just video straight on the screen. Now there are video checks that happen afterwards just to make sure everything's clean, that you don't have any copyright strikes. So if you do have those, then you're not taking advantage of Google's or YouTube search either one of the searches. You can decide if it's actually private. Now understand, if you choose private on the video, it is private. So that means if I'm sending it to Maria at ABC Company, and Maria also has a Maria at Gmail email address, and she opens it with that, she's not going to be able to access it because she's not trying to get to that actual link that you provided with Maria at ABC Company. So private is just to that email address that you are sending to. That's one and only. My mom is in her 80s, and she's often confused about this because she has several Google accounts. And so she always calls me for tech support and says, oh my gosh, I can't get to this. And it's usually because she's trying to go in with one email when they sent the link to another email. Unlisted is just like it sounds. It is unlisted, so it's hard to find. You can find it if you are super industrious, but understand that the URL is a long bit of gibberish. I know a lot of us have seen that before, and a lot of times that's enough just to keep it private enough. So they can come from any email address. They can still see it, but you can't just find it when you're searching on YouTube. And then of course there's public, and you can even schedule that. So you don't have to do that all in real time. If you want to be consistent and understand, consistency builds brand trust. So if you say every Thursday and you post every Thursday, that consistency keeps them coming back and actually encourages them to subscribe to your channel. Okay. Now, when you publish it, you can see there's a link right there that you can just copy. So you can see that copy icon right there. You can see you've got WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter. It's already formatted for all of those things. You can easily do that and now use those to be able to publish and share so people can see that even if they're not looking and haven't found you yet on YouTube. Now, you heard me talk about shorts. So I said 50 billion, and I realized as soon as it came out of my mouth, I thought, oh, those are old numbers, Maria. It's actually 70 billion views on YouTube Shorts. That's not long form video. So all the long form horizontal video that you see on YouTube, that is something different than YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts are vertical. They are now, used to just be 60 seconds. They're now 3 minutes long. So you see that they're 3 minutes long. And they are also something that people go to quite a bit. Remember, 1 billion in TikTok, 70 billion views on YouTube. So if you're missing out on views because you're limiting yourself, then you may not have people who are actually seeing you. And if you want to get found fast, you need to be visible. People don't know you exist. They can't do business with you. So with shorts, we do know now that within the last 2 weeks, custom thumbnails that can be gone, that you can go back and edit it. So that's changed. You actually have a QR code now that you can share about your actual channel. So you can share by QR code. You easily can do that from your phone. There are now short templates. There are stickers you can put on there. And there is Dream Track. What Dream Track is, that's AI. That's YouTube's AI. And these are free all to use. You can actually utilize this and put some text together, and it will create your own song for you. So you can have your own song, your own background and everything playing that's customized, and you don't have to worry about a copyright strike. So that's all available to you as well. All right. How long are your video expired? How long are you video expires, and how long for shorts? I'm not sure what video expires because on YouTube it's evergreen. It never expires. shorts or, so shorts can be 3 minutes now. Okay, that's the slide before. Let me show that again. There we go. Oh, where am I at? There we go. So 3 minutes long now, that was just increased in the last 3 weeks. It used to just be 60 seconds. Can it be less? Absolutely, but it can't be less than 5 seconds. So Stephen, it has to be more than 5 seconds, but less than 3 minutes. 3 minutes is the hard stop. Okay. Yeah, great questions, everybody. I'm going to bring this back up in center so we can see this because, where is it? There we go. We go back to this channel to take a look. If you want to share by QR code, if you go up to your browser, I know this is really tiny, but look up here, your browser is where you put the website address, click on the little share. And when you do that, it says create a QR code. So you can do that in any browser, right? I happen to be in the Brave browser only because I'm broadcasting right now. If I was in a Google Chrome, you could do exactly the same thing, okay? All right. Now, leveraging your YouTube shorts, a lot of people do this because they are really going niche. So they want to focus on things and they want that 5 second to 3 minutes to focus on one specific area or topic. You might be an expert, like I can talk about Google Analytics, YouTube, Google Search, Business Profile, Merchant Center, SEO, but I might want one video, YouTube video, to talk just about how do you upload your products to Google Merchant Center so they're seen for free on Google Lens. Okay, so that might be what my video is about. So it can align with your brand and keep it very focused, niche focused on a topic. It can be quick tips, so think of bite-sized insights. Okay, so a post to TikTok, which looks for more shocking, and that's definitely a different platform. YouTube is where people go when they want to know, go, do, or buy. They use it for a lot of search and to be able to educate themselves even on how to repair or to replace things or use or assemble things. Product highlights, if you want to showcase different product highlights, you can do that as well. Give them a chance to see what it looks like when people feel that relationship with you. They feel like they know you and that you're closer. That makes a big difference too. About 16 years ago, I was on TV every Thursday morning at 6:30 in the morning for our local CBS station as the business coach. I did that for 4 years. I have not been on TV for 16 years, not once. Okay, not even interviewed for anything in 16 years. And yet I will go to the grocery store and people will tell me, Maria, oh, I saw you this morning and you reminded me about this. So you see, people feel a very personal connection when they see somebody on video. So that's why it's really important. And you can promote the longer form video. So let's say you have a long video that's how to be amazing at this, right? And it's a 30-minute video with a how to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, you can use the YouTube short to say, being able to do proactive journaling gets me here. So now there's a link you can put in the description of your YouTube short, a link to the long form video. So you see how it can help and promoting that too with those little snippets. Did you say you have to use Google Chrome? No, I said you could use Google Chrome. I was using I was not using Google. I was using Brave, which is another search engine. I was using Brave only because I'm broadcasting right now. So you can utilize any browser to do that, but you can use Chrome or like I was using Brave, DuckDuckGo, whatever you want to use. Okay, to be able to do that QR code. Great question, Jennifer. All right. I'm glad you asked too, because just in case anybody else misunderstood too, you can utilize that. Chrome is a great, not just a great browser, but a great marketer's tool. There's so many analytics in there. So anytime I can do a live demo and show you what that it can do, let me know. I'm happy to do that, Bill. All right, YouTube Shorts, we've got thumbnails, right? We can edit those thumbnails. We can put location tags. So if you just want to, let's say you're a local plumber to Greenwood, Indiana, now you can focus just on Greenwood, Indiana. So you can put those location tags, you can allow it to be remixed so you can use it with other video, and of course, analytics. You really need to have those analytics because you can't make great decisions without it. In fact, if you're not measuring, you're not marketing. $1 1 minute spent that's not lifting that bottom line or getting you closer to your goal is $1 1 minute spent too much. Okay. Are you able to place clickable links in the description of shorts? Yes. All right, so YouTube Shorts content, again, this is a strategy right here. This 6-point strategy can help you as well. Okay, so Stephen was listening very well. Thank you, Stephen. So you could just screenshot this, or remember what I said about getting a copy of the slides. Again, I'll drop that one last time there. If you want a copy of the slides, they'll be emailed to you tomorrow. But if you want a copy of them right now, because you're ready to take action and apply what you've learned, more power to you. I want that. Just make sure you click there and you download them. Don't just keep them up on your screen, because as soon as they're taken away, you won't be able to download them. Okay? But there's a strategy you can utilize with your YouTube shorts, and you can have good calls to action, even putting limited offers there or responding to comments, because that engagement is what Google is also looking at. How well and how helpful is your content that people really do want to engage and find it something that they want to share with their friends. Now, if you are looking for people, if you are a creator, sorry, a YouTube creator, then this is the URL that you need to go to. I actually work with a lot of YouTube creators, so I know a lot about YouTube shoppable ads and exactly how you monetize your YouTube channel, because I work with a lot of influencers and creators, Amazon influencers, a lot, who work with a lot of the different brands, Target, Walmart. But I know that there's such a strength here within YouTube. And when you look, when all the influencers and creators, and these are the ones, I mean, they're making, this is their livelihood, okay? They will say the lion's share of their money, 72% of their money comes from YouTube. So if that's what you're looking at, this is a great place to start as well, those URLs. Now, if you want to promote your business with video ads, remember what I said, I'd spend a smidgen of time on the ads, because I want to make sure that you have calibrated and optimized everything to take advantage of free, and you don't want to just promote chaos, because that's all ads do, is promote whatever's happening. So YouTube ads, you can find out more by going to this URL. These are the different kind of ads, and you'll be surprised how much you can put in the 6-second bumper ads, right? But the ad that I recommend, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, is this next ad here. I'm sorry, not the 6-second story. You can use the bumper ad, but you pay for any time somebody views it. But it's this next one, the skippable in-stream ad, because if you put your logo, your website, and your phone number, it's important for them to call. You may not want them to call. It could just be your website and your logo. You have 5 seconds to show that to them, that you never have to pay for it if they skip the ad. So they get that visibility, and you can say a lot in 5 seconds. You can just say, this is how we benefit people. This is how to contact us, right? Right at the very front. Always put that at the front of your video if you're going to use it for an ad or you're creating a video ad. But also what comes with it is this companion banner. So as they're cruising around YouTube, see that right up here at the very top right hand before the recommended videos, you see how that logo is hanging out there? That hangs out there for free till they get to another non-skippable ad. So you're getting that good reinforcement if they're trying to remember, now who was it who said this, right? So that is the one that I recommend the most, that you'll spend the least amount on. You of course want to put your budget together and make sure that YouTube or Google Ads, because that's actually what runs the YouTube ads, or Google Ads, knows that you have a limit to your budget and that you want to be very strict about that budget. But this is one way to utilize it and max it out by not spending a whole lot of money. So your next steps, everybody, we're 4 minutes till the top of the hour, and I want to make sure we cover these, is either to create your channel or review it, because maybe you haven't fully optimized it, and that's what you need to do. But it could be to create and upload videos and really know what is the purpose of those videos. What does success look like? So what's that call to action? You need to have a call to action in all your videos. Never leave people hanging, because they don't come back when they feel confused and don't know what to do next. And then explore those additional resources that you see here in this actual slide in the handout that I sent to you. The big thing is to apply. I've covered a lot today. Think about what you want to apply that you learn, because knowledge is not powerful until it's applied. There are lots of things that are neat to know, and there are the things we need to know. And we're not here to win Trivial Pursuit or be the greatest person at facts. We're here to make money in our business and to help YouTube grow our business. Now, if you've decided, okay, that's a lot for me to do and I don't want to do it, I want to work with a partner who knows how to do it, you can use that URL link at the very bottom left here of this slide to get there, or get with SCORE. Get with your SCORE chapter or mentor and ask them, because they know locally who they can recommend and who fits and aligns best with the kind of content that you want to put out. Is it storytelling? Is it more professional based? Exactly what is it that you want? They can make that connection for you, and you can lean into OPE, other people's experience, which I find more valuable much more valuable than other people's money. All right, because you're here and because you're friends of SCORE and I'm friends with SCORE, you're welcome to use this link if you want me to do an SEO audit. It actually does an SEO audit for you, and then I will do a 10-minute review of that, telling you what to prioritize. Do you know that I'm backlogged? I'm still working on the ones from last week. So I am backlogged just because I've been doing a lot of presenting this last week. So I've been on camera more than I've been at desk, but I just want you to know that that's available to you here. You'll see that in the slides and handout too. And then, of course, get with your SCORE chapter, everybody. This is people for free sharing their own expertise, so you don't have to go through the time, energy, the sweat, the tears, the drama. You get to learn from their experience without doing any of that and not spending the money. And there's so much value on that. Now, if I've been helpful to you, I like to model what I also teach at every session, which is ask for a review, because people would give you, in fact, most people would have given you a review had you asked. You don't need to, but I am asking just because I like to model it. You don't need to, but I would be honored if you did. Okay. And if you want to connect with me on socials, if you just want me to do a virtual celebration dance with you because you applied what you learned, you made your playlist, you populated your playlist with a description. So now YouTube SEO and Google SEO can pick you up and even see you and push you higher because it really understands and trusts who you are. I like to celebrate that with you on socials too. No matter what social it is, if you go to bit.ly/find Maria, you'll find all of my socials there, and I'll connect in with whatever one that you have. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop right now here, and I'm going to look at some of the questions. All right, so let me take a look and see what I may have missed. Said, is your webinar being recorded? Yes, you will get a copy of the recording tomorrow. And let me see. If you didn't get the slides, everybody, this is last call, all right? Last call. All right, if you want a copy of the slides, then click and download those now. Don't just keep them hanging on your screen, because I see when people have done that, because then they have to request access to it. It's already not available. It will be emailed to you with a copy of the recording tomorrow, though, okay? Let's see. Other questions I may have missed. Yes, you'll get the email with a copy of the slides and the recording, and in there you'll have exactly how to contact me if you want to contact me. But please let me encourage you to reach out to your SCORE mentors and your SCORE chapter, or look for your local SCORE chapter if you don't have a mentor, because of the experience. I got my start, everybody, in a business incubator. Had it not been for all those people helping and supporting, which a lot of them were SCORE volunteers who were there bringing their expertise in accounting, because I am no accountant, not even close. My goodness, they have saved me tremendous time, energy, and money because they've done that. And I don't want you to do without that. There's so much value that they give. And I think people overlook it because they are free and available. You know, that's what we do, human nature, right? We think it's not valuable. It is so valuable. All right, let me see what other questions. The link to the slides. Okay, I dropped that. I think you see that. I'm going to drop it one more time just in case everybody missed it. So I just dropped it one last time there to review and tailor my content. I love that. I love people taking action at what they're doing. You're very welcome, everybody. You're very, very welcome. Thank you very much, Stephen. I appreciate your kind comments, everybody. Bill, SCORE, thank you for the great opportunity to be here again. Are there any questions before I throw it over to Bill? Very, very, thank you. Danny, Robin, Stephen, thank you. I love the alliteration there. I love that, Stephen. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ivan. I appreciate you being patient, even with the video. Vince, thank you. Right. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Everybody, it has been amazing. All right. Bill, I don't see you coming on, so you may need to, something might be muted.
Well, my audio is on, but I didn't turn on the camera.
No worries. It's all you. I'm throwing it back over to you, and I'll stop sharing.
Thank you very much. Maria will be with us again on the 12th, which is a week from today at noon again, and she'll talk to you about making better business decisions with analytics. And then following up with 2 weeks from today, at the same time, we'll have one on intellectual property. So I appreciate you all being here. If you want to find out your closest SCORE mentor, go to www.score.org, put in your zip code, and they'll tell you where they are. So thank you all for being here. Thank you again, Maria, for a great job. Appreciate your support.